Just what everyone's saying. Hope everyone's well. Still color. We're back in the building, and I'm here with the gang. My brother Menenza and my brother Kev. We are back. I know it's been a minute. I know you've missed us, but listen, we're back again, and we've got a real special episode for you guys. We're going to be reviewing the new Ghetts album, On Purpose, With Purpose. This is Ghetts' fourth studio album, and it's his latest studio album since the release of his third studio album, Conflict of Interest. I mean, that album, well, I can only speak for myself, but I thought that album was a classic, and I thought that album was Ghetts' best work. It was his first major label album, and he definitely delivered. So it'll be very interesting to see if he delivered on his second major label studio project. Listen, before we get into it, I'm gonna need everyone to like, comment, and subscribe. You already know the drill, and let's just get straight into it. So, like I said, man, this is Ghetts' fourth studio album. At this point, Ghetts is a veteran. You know, he's been around for 20 plus years. Very seasoned MC, very respected MC. Understand? He's definitely one of the goats. Do you understand? He's definitely one of the goats. He's up there with the Skeptors, with the Rex 32s, with the K&Os. He's definitely in that bracket. So we got to give him his flowers. But yeah, man, you know, he's back again. And just bouncing off your initial thoughts, man. Like, what did you guys think about the album? I'm gonna go to Zenz. Zenz, bro. I know you've listened to the project. Like, what are your initial thoughts, man?
Well, the album is a top album for sure. When it
Mm,
comes to Ghetts, it's always a level of expectation. Level of
mm,
expectation, type of wordplay, topical
mm,
discussion. It's always going to give
mm,
us some kind of ponder on a little bit in that sense. So,
mm,
I've the album, which I kind of listened to late, to be fair. It came out and I listened to it on a Saturday, and I thought, you
mm,
know what, from start to finish,
mm,
the whole tune that I feel like I went through and I skipped, not at all. And it
mm,
just kind of shows the element of the growth of Ghetts. When it comes to Ghetts
mm,
and putting music out there, he captures all different types of audience. So
mm-hmm.
without even kind of dwelling a bit more, it's an album that caught my attention once again. And what was expected? Expected
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
real. Okay, what you said, man? How do you feel about
Yeah,
this project? I know that you were a big fan of Conflict of Interest. Um, that was one of your favorite albums of that year. So yeah, having taken a listen to this album, how does it match up, man?
yeah, no, I love like Conflict of Interest is like the album for me that I'm like kind of defined it for me with Get.
Mm, mm.
Though there was a 2018 album, I think when he's
Yes,
got like he's holding the crucifix as well. I think that's
Crucifix.
the
Yep, yep, yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. And
yep,
I thought
yep,
that had like one or two records that I heard I thought were amazing. So I need to go back to
yep.
listen to that. Obviously we all heard about his, Get a Commandment and all of his earlier stuff as well. So
Mm,
he's always been one of the best MCs. I think for me, he probably in my favor of all time list, he's definitely up there. Probably the best one or one of the best ones in the UK, I think.
facts. Yeah,
And
facts.
and
Yeah.
I think with this album, it is really interesting. I don't think it is as good as Conflict of Interest, in my opinion. I think it's a good album. I
Mm,
have some gripes with it. However,
mm,
the brilliantness of Ghetts is that his lowest level is always a good level or a great level, and
mm,
he, even each song, he's never a fault performance. He's one of the best when it comes to his performance, whether that be wordplay or very much the sort of the story, the conscious storytelling that's very much woven in this album as well. Where he's talking about, for example, postpartum depression. Um,
mm,
of course, about just growth as now more of an adult as well, and bringing more adult theme and not necessarily the sort of youthful theme that you sort of see rappers at his age doing. So this very much mature rappers, which I'm very happy about as well. So the sequencing, I love the first half of the sequencing of the album. I think it's very sort
mm,
of
mm,
tight. Everything sort of is woven to sort of together as well. We get sort of great sort of storytelling. Uh, Great sort of storytelling from Ghetts within the first part of the album. Actually, I think I'm mixing that with the latter part of the album. I think the first part would get more about himself, being the adult that he is. For
mm,
example, like reaching 40. not previously sort of worrying about having heart attacks, but now actually worrying about that. Those little things that kind of show, when you're becoming older, when you're younger, you're worrying about other things, but when you become older, you be
Your
worrying about
perspective
more particular
changes.
things.
Yeah,
Your perspective changes as
Yeah,
well,
no,
and
for real,
then
for real.
about prioritizing your health. So those little
Mm,
interesting sort of themes that he's going into, and then obviously we get the crud like always, man. And when it comes to
mm.
crud like
Listen,
gets
no one
level of
does it
crud
better.
is just it's
No
so
one
yeah
does it
it's
better.
so
Yeah, no one does it
yeah
better.
like it's so dark. Like I mean we heard it
Mm,
with like what's it called, bus 2, bus 3. I think it's called bus 1, isn't it? Where it's just
mm,
that he's able to go so deep and so dark with so ease as well, fam.
mm.
And alongside with the obviously the cardinets and alongside with the storytelling, for example, with record like Jonah Safety and also street politics that highlight some of their sort of the strong suit that I kind of have with the album as well. Like the double standards, for example, big up to man
With
like
Suffer.
Nanga RK fam,
RK,
Robert
yeah,
fam
yeah. Shout out
producing
to
that.
RK, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Bro,
Emil as
that
well. Shout out
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
Emil as
that
well.
beat is nasty, man. And obviously,
Mm,
gets highlighting double standard in society, not just from racial double standard, but ethnical or being a Muslim as well. I thought that was a fantastic record as well. But
mm.
I think that the first half of it is quite tight woven as well. But the problem is, I think for me, it comes down to the second half of it, where I feel like some of the songs are quite similar to one another. Like we get a lot of records about about women that are quite similar to one another, and we get kind of the sort of same Afrobeat element. They're quite similar to one another, and then I think we also get some crud at the bottom as well. So I just feel like he could have done maybe slightly better in terms of being more meticulous and like, okay, cool, this record is similar to the other record. Let me remove that. Do you get me? Because I feel like some of them are too similar to one another as well. Like with conflict of interest in what is a little bit of my gripe about, with Ghetts is that some of it can be a bit like some of the instrumentation, some like records like I think it's street politics can be a bit what's the lack of a better word? A little bit meh, like not sort of great at times, but we always saved by a fantastic performance or a good performance by Ghetts as
Mm,
well.
mm.
But most of all, it's highlighted by strong point. Like let's say like a record like Mount Rushmore, for example, where
Yeah.
like Ghetts and Kano and Wretch are like going back to back, talking about different
I,
topics,
I think
and
that
it's
record was probably the strongest on the tape, I can't even lie.
oh that you really liked.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, in my opinion.
lyrics. I think lyrics and storytelling, I think is the strongest most. So you've got the three
Yeah.
powerhouse in the
Yes,
UK.
yes, yes.
Red is also another like bad boy MC, man.
Bad boy,
Bad
yeah.
boy MC. Wretch is
Mm,
another bad boy MC as well, fam.
mm,
So
mm, mm.
they are literally going in and out. And I think I loved. Oh, and another record that I love was also Blood on My Hands. And shout out to Unknown T.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Oh, oh, he went off.
I
He
was
went off.
like, yo, I was like,
He went
bro,
off. He went
obviously,
off.
Gets when it comes to the crowd, like it's easy. Like he's gonna like
Yeah.
he can do that in his sleep. But Unknown T hold up really well, and he sounded excellent on that record as
Yeah,
well.
he did. He did. He did. He did. He did. He did. Flow was
And so
immaculate,
I feel
man.
like he fitted in on that record so well. That's one thing I like about Ghetts is that when it comes to his features too, and basically woven people into certain tracks, he's got it to a T always. So every single
Yes.
track storyline, he understands. And this is why when you said that certain tunes sound the same, I could agree but disagree because I feel like he's woven the album in a way where he wants to capture us in the politics type of things and just everyday society. So we're still
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to say. And then throughout the album, as the album grows and grows and grows, he enters more, like you say, his growth, talking about health, talking about life of girls, talking about this. Even that tune with Scraps, for example.
Oh
Mm.
yeah. The
Twin
same
sisters, yeah,
twin
twin sisters,
sisters. Yeah.
twin sisters, yeah. But you know what it is though, yeah. I rate Gets for challenging himself on this album, because I've never heard Gets really sing before, innit? Do you
Oh,
understand?
he did on Conflict of Interest though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he sang with the record with Ed Sheeran. But yeah, it's not an
Right.
often thing. But you're right. It's
Yeah,
not an often thing. So that's why
yeah. And
it
he
stands
sang
out for
quite a
sure.
bit. He sang quite a bit on this album, innit? And I've
Is it the
never really
interlude? Is he singing on interlude? More
what
than
the
I
intro.
required, I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he sang on a couple of records. So I think he sang on I think he sang on Blessings. Yeah, he
Oh
sang on
yeah.
Blessings.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he sang on another record, and then I think he kind of sang on either the intro or the outro. I think it was the outro. Yeah,
Outro, intro, it was more being the single.
yeah,
Expiry
it's more
date.
right. Yeah, it was the outro. So he sang on 3 records, innit? I appreciate that, man. The fact that like he was trying to do something that he really hasn't done before. I know maybe there was one record on conflict of interest, like you said, Kevin, that
Yeah,
he
it's not an often
attempted.
thing. Like
Yeah,
it's a
it's not
newer
often.
thing, I think, is
Yeah,
doing,
and
or maybe he's
I've
done
never.
it in 2018. We just don't.
Yeah,
We just haven't heard it. So maybe. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
yeah, go on.
and I've never really heard Ghetts rap on like Afro beat type of. Do you understand type of instrumentation?
Yeah,
Um,
he's definitely trying to. He's doing.
yeah.
He did it well. He did it well. I give him
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I've never really heard that from Gets before, and I think he did it really well. You know, I think he did it really well. Like on Tumi, Tumi's a great record, man. At first, I was a bit skeptical of that record, didn't it? But the more I
Which
listened
one?
to it,
Which record?
Tumbi,
Okay.
Tumbi, yeah. He released that as one of the singles, innit? So when I heard
Oh
it
yeah,
at
yeah,
first,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When I heard it at first, I was like, this ain't really, yeah, I ain't really feeling this, you know, because I ain't really heard Gets on an African instrumentation before, so I wasn't really feeling it. But that's because it was foreign to my ears, isn't it? So when I listened to the track about 4 or 5 more times, I was like, you know what? He's actually flowing on this, you know. Yeah, he's actually flowing on this. And then the track with obviously I don't want to get this wrong in it, so let me get my notes up. The
Was it
track with
Gembude? I think that's also another Afrobeat record as
yeah.
well.
With Harry A. Hey, let me tell you, gets floated on that. Hey, gets floated on that. You understand? Gets floated on that. You know, gets floated on that, and then Blessings as well, featuring Muzi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I thought he did it really well, man. Like, you know, tap into his African side, even though he's Jamaican. Understand? I thought he did it really well.
Talking about African side, I think a song that surprised me as well a little bit, the feature with Dexter Daps as well.
Oh
Yeah, the one with but
Hallelujah.
you know, Isn't yeah. Shout out to Dexter Daps. I don't want to come across as rude in it, but
Yeah, I know what
even
you're
though
gonna say.
yeah. I don't think, bro. Listen, listen. Dexter Daps didn't need to be on a record like that, man. I can't lie. He didn't need to be on a record like that. Still.
I hear you, but you know what it is? I think with the type of feature,
Yeah,
with Dexter Daps, not that it tied it in. It didn't need to be tied in per se.
yeah.
Dexter Daps, especially at the end as well, or at the end of the song, he's trying to do his little harmonies. They weren't really making
Hey, Dexter Daps.
made a tune because the tune before that was listening to the interlude, and before they had a tune with Shaka. So I feel like the way it was a type of song that was going to come through anyways. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
yeah, no, I hear it, and I appreciate that, but I just don't feel like that feature was needed, didn't it? It didn't really add nothing to the song, in my opinion. And also the feature with is it Lancey Fox? Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, I thought
bro.
I thought you were gonna bring that up.
Bro, listen.
I had something to say about that as well.
Listen, I actually like the song in it, but Laxey Fox here didn't offer nothing on that record. In my opinion,
you know what
it is? Spoiled that record.
Personally, I see what his attraction is. I see what he did to the song. The problem is
he didn't
he's not
it.
Playboy Carti. I feel like the problem is with Lancey Fox is that he's not his own, and I think that's where. When I hear it, I thought it was Playboy Carti, but then I see Lancey Fox, and then at a moment he did kind of all right, but then there are moments when he trying to sort of rap even more and not do that sing-song rappy. I think that's like his second part of the song, like towards his second verse, and he sounds kind of a little bit off, and I think that's where for me he fell off. But go on,
I think because he was trying to go bar for bar, so obviously because he's
yeah. Machine fam.
It's not his bag. So at the end of the day, I feel like he should have gone with his type of flow, but the type of song, he didn't need Lancey on it. So I think he faded away so much in that song. He
did. So I was disappointed in those 2 features, the Dexter Daps one and the Lancey Fox, but the majority of the features on here are spot on, man.
What about his continuation? Well, his continued collab with Moonchild.
Oh yeah, with Laps. Yeah. It's really that's a good take as well, because obviously the Mozambique, she was on Mozambique as well, isn't it? And then Mozambique is just, oh my god, man, like, bro, amazing. I think this song is hard as well. I love it. I love it. I think it's a really good song.
It's
I
a really
think
good song.
it's interesting because it sounds kind of similar to the Mozambique-esque, but obviously it's kind of different as well. So obviously it's
Yeah,
still crud. It's still
yeah.
crud, but obviously this time he's talking about making man run laps and run raps away from him, fam. Do you get me? Because he's about to cause a madness on Ops, fam. So
Yeah.
and obviously we got Moonchild, you know, with her sort of delivery as well. So I like it. I like it. I think it's a strong song.
It's a
I
strong
think my
song,
only
yeah.
grab is that there's a similarity, but again, that's okay. I think I like it.
Cool. So, I mean, would you man think were the strongest songs on this tape? Like, what are the standouts?
I'll say standouts for me. We're going with Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
Big track on the tape straight away. Double
Straight.
Standard is a big song as well with Sampa.
Yeah. Shout out
Like
Sampa.
we know what to expect there straight away. Blood
Mm,
on My Hands was Unknown T. Like I
mm,
said, you know what to expect of that song. I didn't know
mm.
how it will come through, but Unknown T held his own.
He did. He did. He
Massively.
did. He
And then
did.
I think from then I'll probably go with Laps. And then the tune with Harry A.
Yes.
Another,
Yeah.
and you know what? Surprised me. You know the tune with Pit Millet went too bad as well. You know.
Yeah.
Journal
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah.
Journal
Yeah. Yeah.
safety.
That one too bad. They want that one too bad at all.
It
That's
went
when
too
he
That one
talks
too bad
about
at
the
all.
postpartum depression, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Strong topics to talk with, strong topics, and I think she held her own as well on that track too. And obviously the tune with Shaka as well, the little vibesy tune, mine, you know, talking about the galley, and you know,
Yeah.
it's a typical
Oh
tune
yeah.
that you expect, you know. So
Yeah.
there's strong tunes.
I
Tunes on
mean,
the
I
album.
think one thing I can say about this album, there's something for nearly everybody on this tape, innit? You got
Yeah.
something for the R&B niggas, do you understand? You got something for the street
Yeah.
niggas. Yeah, you got something for the Afro beat niggas. Like you got something for near enough everyone. And it's not just fillers on the tape. I feel like most of the songs that gets put out, no matter what genre it is, it's gonna be at a high level. Do you understand? The songs are going to be at a high level. So only a few artists can do that, man. And Ghetts is one of them. So credit to him, bro. Credit to him. Credit to him. Kev, what are you saying though? What are your favorite songs
Yeah,
from the
in
tape?
terms of records, it's a bit similar to Zen. So Mount Rushmore, of course, Double Standard. I love
Okay.
Anakin Red Saber. It's kind of similar
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Fire and Brimstone as well. Like
yeah.
he's got a very specific type of production, kind of similar to Conflict of Interest,
Mm,
in terms of like this bassy, drony, almost like a sort of G-Funk-esque element
yeah,
to it as well. So I love
yeah,
that as well.
yeah,
Blood on My
yeah.
Hands as well. Stylish Nigga is all right. Actually, that's the Lance Fox record. That's all right. It's not bad. Obviously, gets us a great performance, but I don't want to put that in the list. Laps for sure. Twin Sisters is okay. I'm not putting Twin Sisters. That was one of my great grab with Twin Sisters, and also the Galleys record. I think he's able to show great social awareness and different perspective on other record as well. Like we said, for example, with the Pip Malay record. But I think with Twin Sisters, he's attacking it the same way I think loads of rappers would attack it in terms of you know the girls they having sex with, or the amount of girls they having sex with. And I thought he could have been a little bit more interesting in terms of his perspective that he took there as well. But that's my only gripe when it comes to the Galleys record, and I think most Galleys record on the album as well. But anyway, Expiry Day, the first half of Expiry Day
Yeah,
is
oh, yeah. The first half of
insane.
Expiry Die is
Oh my!
yeah.
I do not know why he did the beat switch. The beat switch is poor. I'm so sorry.
Do you know it's Kev? I actually
It's
agree with you.
awkward. It's
I don't
so
think it's
awkward.
poor. I
It's
don't
so
think it's poor, but I don't think it was needed. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah, because
Because
the
the first
intro is
half was
gorgeous, bruv. It's just
yeah, the
fast,
first half was
nothing much
incredible.
needed on top. Like, and then
Yeah,
then it switches, and I'm like, oh no, it's because it doesn't feel like it's connected. They're trying to connect it with the backing harmonies, trying to sing quite the same as the first part of the song, but the switch is so different that I don't think it connects really well.
it doesn't. Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree. I agree.
and we
So where does this album match up in Ghetts' discography?
For me, realistically and honestly, based upon the body of work he's put on this album, I would say that this album has to sit behind Conflict of Interest. Conflict of Interest is still a big album for me. So I would place the album about second in its geography. I
Second,
would,
yeah.
because
Okay.
it's the growth for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It gives us the Ghetts of old with the Ghetts of new, but the Ghetts that we have now and his storytelling and it's just how he magically can ride over tracks and
Yeah,
his
production.
production and the
His
production.
versatility as well.
Versatility is
Yeah,
this.
he's got strong ear as well, strong ear for
Yeah,
beats as well,
he's
man.
got
For
strong ear
most
for
part of
beats.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Conflict of Interest for me is still up there, but I think it falls right behind Conflict of Interest for sure. So it's a good album, man. It's a good album. It's a good album.
I'm quite similar when it comes with Zenz, but I need to listen to Ghetto Gospel, the New Testament, before I can make a fully deserved. I think because there's one or two records I think on the New Testament that I really, really like. So it might actually be obviously I think Conflict of Interest and then Ghetto Gospel and then the On Purpose with Purpose, or maybe switch them two, or maybe got a gospel on top. I don't know. I need to hear Ghetto Gospel fully, but for now I'll put Conflict of Interest. And then I don't know. Then it has to be On Purpose with Purpose and Get a Gospel, and then the Rebel with Course, I think it is. But
yeah.
it could switch once I hear Get the New Testament properly.
Like for me, I'm comparing Ghetts to Jamie Vardy in it. Hear my analogy.
Yeah.
Hear my analogy. Ghetts is aging like fine wine. Do you understand? Like Ghetts is what? Ghetts is 20 years deep into his career, yeah, and he's producing his best work during the latter part of his career. Also with Jamie Vardy, we all know the story. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy peaked at what 28, 29. 28, 29, and he managed to maintain his form for about 5 to 6 years up until he got to his middle 30s. You know what I mean? He peaked very late, and for me, Ghetts has done the same thing. He's peaked very late in his career. So yeah, man, like shout out to Ghetts, bro, because not many artists can do that. Not many artists can do that, fam. Just to round up, man, like what would you give this album in terms of a score if you had to rate it? Kev, I'll start with you.
I will give it a 7. I think it's a good album. I think, like I said earlier on, I think I have an issue with just the sequencing and also the records being similar to some of the other records as well. I think he could have been even much harsher with himself and been like, you know what? I do not need this record because it's kind of like this record. Yes, it's slightly different, but it's like almost the same topic. So it's like an almost similar, well, it's slightly different bit of a sound, but it covers the same ground. And but he still executes it in a way that's it doesn't sound off like it's a throwaway record. And that's because of Ghetts base level is higher than most rappers' high level. Do you get me? Because he's that good.
For real.
So
Facts.
I think those are my two gripe with the record. And the Lancey Fox one, maybe remove the like him trying to go bar for bar that bit. Remove that.
Rob,
How about you remove
outro.
Just remove the expiry outro, and then we may have a even better score. But overall, I think it's a good album. Shout out to Ghetts to still doing his best, to still putting out quality work, and I still think this is a fan. This you know when Kanye did what's it called for me? What's it called that album? I hate. What's it called? TLOP. I think this is a good example of someone like releasing a follow-up album and still kind of actually it's an unfair comparison because obviously I can even not use a comparison. An unfair comparison. Kanye was in 10 years releasing albums into that point. But anyway, this is a very good follow-up album. Do you get me? It's respectful. So that's my take on
cool.
I'll say as a follow-up album, I'll say 7 as well. As well. Reason why I put it behind Conflict, or Conflict was a very high benchmark to kind of high for sure. But I thought he delivered, man. I hear what Kev's saying regarding the flow of the album and so forth. But I think once again, Ghetts his low bar, it doesn't reach most artists' high bar at the end of the day. So the type of music he's put on the album, the flow from start to finish, the features apart from the Lancey Fox.
The Lancey Fox, he just needs to take that feature away, man.
Take that feature away.
Man.
There's no point going bar for bar. But in people, like H said, there's so many songs for so many different people at the end of the day.
There is.
Oh, 7, I think, is a fair score. And it's not a bad score at all. So I'll say 7 out of 10 for sure.
Me on a personal level, I'll give this an 8 in it. Because if I gave Conflict of Interest a 9, and this is just behind Conflict of Interest, then an 8 for me is a fair score. And I think I gave the New Testament album a 7. So as you can see, like all the scores are lined up in it in terms of how I rank them.
The progression.
Like I said, Ghetts has already solidified himself as one of the greats. And there's not many artists in the UK that are releasing quality albums like this at this stage of their career. He's 20 years deep into this thing, man, and he's only getting better with time. He's aging like fine wine, like I said. So yeah, man, shout out to Ghetts. I definitely feel like this will be in my best of year list come.
Yeah, it's in my list as well. It's in my list as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I don't see many albums surpassing this album.
Started off strong,
Uh,
man. Started off strong. I won't lie.
yeah, definitely. And it will be interesting to see where goes from here. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Ghetts goes from here. But he's released three good projects in a row. Um, three good projects in a row, and that's very hard to do. So like I said, man, my hat goes off to Ghetts. And yeah, I'm excited to hear what the next project is going to sound and be like. Yeah, I guess that's it, really. You know, guys, let us know what you think about the album. Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, what rating would you give it? And yeah, man, give us your feedback in the comment section below. And we'll be back again real soon with another review. But until then,
Uh,
it's still color. You already know where it is. We got more reviews coming, so stay locked in. And yeah, man, stay blessed. We'll be back again real soon. Peace. We're out.
Cool.
Love.
Peace.